Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by APA, and our coverage brought to you by our friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman, and I'm joined by Team USA Moscone captain Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, we're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty here in the women's division. Next up, we've got the hot seat match with the winner here securing herself a spot in the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. A big match for both these ladies. Of course, a great spot to be in. If you win one out of the next two, you're in the final, whether you win this one or the semis. So big stuff happening here on day two.
Absolutely. The Women's U.S. Amateur Championship was comprised of a field of 44 of the top players from across North America. Let's take a quick look at some of the U.S. Amateur Championship rules. Of course, in the ladies' division, it is a double elimination, race to 5. We'll see 3 games of 8-ball up to 6 games of 9-ball. And the winner of the lag, they opt to choose either the format or they take the break. So let's go ahead and introduce you to the 2 women who'll be competing in this match. They're both still undefeated in this year's event from Croswell, Michigan. We got to look at her earlier today. Krystal Depelsmaeker, and from Cameron, North Carolina, Christy Norris. Now, I believe the ladies are just about ready to get things started, so let's take you down into the pit, get this match officially underway. And this will be Christy Norris out of Cameron, North Carolina with the break. We are starting in the 8-ball set.
Yeah, I saw that Krystal actually won the lag, deferred the break, choosing 8-ball to start.
Christy Norris handed Stacy Bourbeau her first loss today. I was going to look and see how that Bourbeau-Rachel Lang match came out.
I think Bourbeau got it.
She did. 5-3, tough match. So Rachel Lang, last year's runner-out, she has been eliminated. Will finish tied for 5th place. Stacy Bourbeau will move on.
Yeah.
Looks like she's going to take on Jennifer Swinson. And if I'm not mistaken, the winner of that match will face the loser of this match in the semifinal, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's right. Four ladies remaining, and with a difficult 4-ball tucked away, you wonder why she took solids, but that's all she had after the break. Really didn't have a look at a stripe. So maybe a little up against it here in rack number 1.
We do have the open division of the U.S. Amateur Championship ongoing as well. The outer part of the arena here. We are going to continue with our coverage of the women's division right through the championship today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Stick around and see who takes home the trophy.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if she can do a whole lot more with the run. The 2 got tied up. The 4's difficult. I think I'd like to shoot the 3 and pocket the 12 right here and leave the 3 over the pocket. Playing for a little longer game, but I think that's what really makes sense here.
An interesting match we saw a little bit earlier with Krystal, Jeremy. It was really her opponent that kind of commanded the match, but had some really inopportune mistakes at the end there on the 9-ball, and a couple of different racks made the difference there, and Krystal moved on undefeated. So we'll see if she can keep the good vibes rolling here, or if Christy Norris will punch her ticket to the championship. 24 years old, Krystal Depelsmaeker.
Yeah, it was an odd match in her last where her opponent made, if we had that stat where balls pocketed, she made most of them, it seemed like, especially on the 9-ball side of things.
She had the scratch on a 9-ball, and then she rattled a pretty makeable 9-ball in the next rack, and Krystal capitalized. So sometimes that's what it takes in an event like this,
Well, that's the
Luck
one.
comes your way, you got to take advantage.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what she
a
did.
great thing about pool is all kinds of ways to win. You see some more safety kind of players, and you see some very aggressive players, and then there's fortunate and unfortunate ways to win as well. Now a 7-ball covered up along with that same 4 covered up. Got to feel like Christy's in the driver's seat in this game, even though Krystal's at the table.
I was looking at CompuSport, so after that match, Karen Lincoln, who was her opponent, ended up losing 5-1. So really, never really recovered from those mistakes there towards the end of that 9-ball set. Just really kind of changed the complexion of the tournament for her, no doubt.
Yeah, tournament pool, something to learn from. A lot of these matches, especially, on the final day, if you're on the one loss side, or when you take that first loss, you're going to have to play right back. So you got to be able to regroup quickly. I think we saw Stacy Bourbeau do that after losing here to Christy here just earlier. Bounces back with a nice win over Rachel, last year's finals. Now, Christy, I said in the driver's seat here in game 1 because she really is in a position now. She doesn't have to take many chances. She's really got to be her opponent with a lonely 7-ball up the table and a buried 4-ball here near the 10. So we'll see how far Christy wants to take this run out. Like I said, if she comes to a position where she doesn't have to take much chance. Now, she could shoot the 15 in the side. It looks pretty good, and draw one rail and bump the 4 or the 10. Either will do. See how she cues the ball. She's hitting it with a high ball, so she's going to stay away from the 10, it appears. This is the thing. The 10's a bit of a problem for Christy as well as the 4 being a problem for Krystal. So, and if I happen to mess those names up,
Yeah,
just
Krystal and Christy.
Yeah, just bear with us a little bit. But what I'm getting at is she doesn't want to peel off all these stripes without, addressing that problem. So we'll see.
Of course, this year's U.S. Amateur Championship being held in our new venue here in Orlando, Florida, the Wyndham Resort in Orlando, here in their event center. So far, so good here in Orlando.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it's intended, but she got ideal to come off the 14, knocking that in the corner and drawing down to open up the 10 and 4. Oh, she went right around it. May have scratched in the side as well. This would be a bad roll.
Did. Ball in hand to Krystal.
She's like me, wondering how she went around that 4-ball. Now Krystal with an opening with ball in hand, something she certainly didn't expect. This ball's a little tight. And again, when the cue ball's close to the object ball, very hard to move it quite some ways. So we'll see how she attacks. Looks like she's set up a little angle to maybe go into the 10 a little bit and carry the cue ball through the 10. And it was always going to be difficult to get real good on the 7. So big shot here early.
24 years old is Krystal Depelsmaeker. She's young enough that Jeremy could go ask her that question.
Yeah, I was, the lady question on the age, right? I would have guessed 3 or 4 years younger myself,
Yeah.
but we said earlier, been playing pool her entire life. So this is one of the places she wants to be. Ooh, went for the bank. Didn't like the cut. Maybe the position with the cut was difficult.
Christy Norris back to the table. Again, both these ladies undefeated. So they've had a strong tournament thus far. One of them will advance to the championship. The other will have to pick up one more match to get to the championship.
You know, like I said earlier, though, the place you want to be in, you can win one out of the next two and be in that final, that race to 9, that extended race. A real solid stroke there. She got a little on the 50. So has to make a decision which corner she fancies. Probably, you're looking at the screen, all right, she's going to go the lower right. Needs to draw the ball a little bit, not a lot. Watch out, cue ball. Watch out, cue ball.
Wow. All right, so she pockets the 8, but scratches. That game will go to Krystal Depelsmaeker. And Jeremy, this is like deja vu. This reminds me of the last match we saw, Krystal, where, critical mistakes by her opponent, and she finds herself the fortunate recipient of those mistakes. So she takes a 1-0 lead. While we've got a moment, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Krystal Depelsmaeker at the table here, preparing to break in the 8-ball set. Second of 3 games of 8-ball we'll see. She leads 1-0 in this race to 5. And she scratches in the side pocket. And a high ball follows it in. So Christy Norris will return to the table, looking to try to even things up at a game apiece.
And you've played a lot of sports, Jason. I know I have. And speaking of her last shot on the 8, there's no sport in the world, I think, that you hit a ball that you're happy with and sometimes don't have the results that you're happy with. And I think pool's like that more than any other sport, it seems like.
Yeah, maybe baseball when you get robbed on a line drive or something, hit the ball hard and somebody just makes it a crazy great play. But I get what you're saying for sure.
In the pros, it seems like they're always positioned perfectly for the pitch coming and what the percentage is on the hitter. But in pool, it happens so much. You're like, sometimes it's a scratch, sometimes it's maybe you miss position, maybe not so detrimental like a scratch, but very often, and that's where she's got to settle herself and say, hey, I'm not unhappy the way I hit the 8. I just lost the cue ball a little bit, so don't get too down about it. All right, elected to take on the stripes. They all do go. Overcut miss there.
And again, the winner of this match will advance to the championship. Punch the ticket, take a round off, and grab a bite to eat. And get ready for that extended race to 9.
Well, the setup here is so nice because a lot of times when you win the hot seat, in a tournament, you're waiting hours and hours and hours and hours before you get to play. And it seems like the player that comes off the one-loss side is, staying in action.
Yeah.
Not sitting too much, of course, and seems like has a mild advantage. But Here, there's only, going to be an hour and a half break or so. Perfect time for whoever wins this match to relax a little bit, clear their mind. All right, does she try to open the 7 here? Thought she may hit that with a high ball, trying to open the 7. Looks like the 2 does play.
And when we get a chance, we'll try to get you an update on the Swenson-Bourbeau match. It's being played over on table 18. That is on the one-loss side of the bracket, which means one of those players will finish in 4th place. The winner of that match will face the loser of this match. And they are still in their first rack over there on table 18, so we are scoreless. But, Jeremy, the defending champion, still alive, Stacy Bourbeau.
Yeah, she said she was a little nervous during that last match with Rachel.
We have never seen a repeat champion in the women's division. We have a few ladies that have won multiple titles, but never in back-to-back years. So Stacy looking to make some history of her own.
Yeah, she got some nice words from Tina Larson after exiting, and saying she'd like to have some company with those 3 wins. And so that's a nice thing.
Some great sportsmanship. Yeah. That's one of the great things about this event in general that you'll see is the sportsmanship here is really at a high level. A lot of respect for the game, a lot of respect for the opponent here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. That's one of the things that makes this event so unique.
Yeah, I was asking about the one lady that's in the open division. And I saw a lady come in the building that I didn't realize was here. A lady I worked with in Seattle last year on her game, and Frances So, I believe is how you pronounce her last name.
That's who's in the open division?
Yeah.
Oh, you gave her some coaching last year.
Yeah,
huh?
I went to
Nice.
Seattle for about a week or so and worked with many players, and I worked with a lot of talent up there, I'll tell you, but I was impressed with all of them, and Frances just right along with all of them. I think she could be a professional player the way her caliber was to me. Of course, a busy young lady that tries to play as much pool, but didn't surprise me when I saw her that she was the one lady that's in the open division. Very talented. And I think in action right now, back
Yeah.
looks like table 14, I think. All right, these ladies battling with these balls on the bottom rail. Really awesome pool room up there in Seattle. Ox Billiards, they run APA out of there, and they have snooker on a 9-foot tables. Just a beautiful pool room.
Been to Seattle. We did a show up there with Jeanette Lee, a Black Widow tour stop at a place called The Garage.
Oh, okay.
Had a bowling and then pool tables. It was a really cool place, too.
Yeah, Ox is a place that is a members part-time and then open to the public part-time.
Nice.
It's partly automated pool room. Of course, you can get in and play with your membership card. Just a lot of great people up there as well. I hadn't been there in 30 years, it seemed like, and I can't wait to go back. All right, looks like she's sending the cue ball into the 7, trying to open that up. Maybe get short side position. That would be some kind of short side on that 7 there for the corner. I think it does go, though. I think she really kind of has to take it on to the upper left. Well, it looks like she's taking on the 4 on the side. Only problem with that is, what's she going to do with the 7? And I would say any tournament early, you can say maybe my opponent doesn't run out. But now we're in the hot seat match, and this is very obvious. The ladies in this, and of course the open division when that takes place, those are players that are in stroke and can play very, very well. So you can't really depend on the mistake from them so much.
So she clears her opponent's ball off the table there. That brings Christy Norris back. Looking to even this match up at a game apiece if possible.
Yeah, she's going to try and chip the 11 towards the pocket. If it goes, it goes, but try and bring the cue ball behind the 8 and 12. All speed control here.
Does not go.
That's all right, though. Backup plan there, Jason. The cue ball. All right, going to try and maybe create a little luck here on the kick shot. I think Christy's very capable of getting out here, but for Krystal, good thing the way the kick was that, she has to make Christy kind of take the easy shot first here on the 11, the one that's a no-brainer. But we're going to see how position turns out. And that's why making that hit on the 7 was so important. You're going to make Christy earn it from here. I don't think she has the 13 in the side. Maybe. If she does, that makes things much easier. Oh, it appears she does. Stands feeling up for this hot seat match. Friendly little bump on the 7, making the 8 a little easier. Now, take care of that cue ball, huh, Jason? After the last game.
No problem there for Christy this time around. Pockets the 8 in the corner. Evens this match up at 1 game apiece in this race to 5. While Krystal prepares the rack, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. All right, we are back here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, Women's Division. Christy Norris will have the break in the 3rd and final game of the 8-ball set. Again, we do 3 racks of 8-ball and then shift to the 9-ball set. Up to 6 games of 9-ball, depending on the way the match goes in terms of score. Christy taking a look at that rack. Repositions the cue ball. And she's ready to go.
Nice break, making the one in the side. Didn't hear another one go down.
Nice spread there, though.
Yeah, both are very doable. She'll have to take solids, but a nice starter on the 2. Everything pretty open. She could play the 5 as well. Good to always go check. Make sure you're not making a mistake as far as what balls were pocketed on the break. Pretty impressed with Christy's stroke, I'll tell you. Doesn't back down much at all. A little concerned for the 8. The 8 doesn't have either of these lower pockets. It doesn't seem like anyways. So, of course, a lot of work before that 8. But if you're looking ahead, it's going to need some nice short position of some sort. She got a little off angle on the 5 going away from the rest of them solids. So maybe she has to slow roll the 5, take a long one on the 3 maybe. She has the power to move the cue ball though. Really ideal. Now, does she want to lay there? Maybe look at your options of how the 3 lays a lot of times. Maybe you can go down below the 13, making the 4 a little easier. We'll see. You can see the stroke there on the 5, moving the cue ball 3 rails for the 3. Well, this may be a little too much draw. I don't know. But I can kind of see how Stacy Bourbeau is beat by this lady. I mean, this lady's like a run-out player to me. Overdrew the cue ball a little bit on the new felts. Going to have to play a very difficult combination on the 7-4. She wanted to get that little gap between the 8-7 to get straight at the 4.
I'll give a shout out to our sponsors, of course, our friends at PoolDog.com, bringing you folks all this great coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship, Aramith pool balls, action cues, and of course our friends at Diamond Tables, the exclusive table provider of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah, she made that combination. I'm not so sure what else she has here. There's a double bank kick. You're looking at our screen like this to get at the 7. That's one option. Looks like she's going to try and tie up the 12 onto the 7 and just surrender ball in hand. Trying to maybe, she didn't want to make the 7. She wanted to clog that pocket up with the 7 while giving up ball in hand. So here's a prime example, a pretty standard 8 ball with ball in hand. Take care of those 4 up top and then come down for these last 3. You don't want to be moving the cue ball back and forth. You could do it the other way, take care of the 3 and then go up top for the other 4 balls, but I like this better. You'll notice the 3 balls she's going to leave for last. They're a little closer to the pocket, a little closer to the 8. She wanted to stun a little more, but don't let that bother you. You have options, so you can bump the 11 a little bit. She went and drew away from it. And getting kind of flat and kind of straight here. So at least the cue ball's off the rail. She needs to work the cue ball a little bit. The one good thing is she can take a little bit of a long shot on the 11, knowing the 8 doesn't pass the 13. So see her a little elevated with the cue, trying to make the cue ball move. Both these ladies very well equipped in the stroke department, Jason. You can tell they've spent plenty of time working on it. Don't overthink it here. Just knock this in, go to the rail. You'll have the 13. Then you can easily move the cue ball for the 8. I just love to see any young players, any ladies, just guys too, really, just knock the ball in with confidence. Love seeing that. Especially in big moments. That's hard to do sometimes. You can get tentative.
Krystal grabs that extender. Now shooting on the 8 ball to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, what feels like a huge game in this match, entering the 9-ball session.
And the 8 ball drops. Krystal Depelsmaeker with a 2-1 lead in this race to 5. We're going to switch over to the 9 ball set. She will have the break, as Jeremy mentioned, when we come back. All right, welcome back here to Orlando for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship, the women's division. This is the hot seat match featuring 2 undefeated players. The winner of this match will move on to the championship final. Krystal Depelsmaeker will have the break. First rack of the 9 ball set. Krystal out of Croswell, Michigan. Nine ball moving. 2 ball in the corner, up top. Nice clear look at the 1.
Yeah, not easy. Pretty straight near the rail with the cue ball. Good thing the 3's near the upper left corner. So she doesn't have to elevate and kind of stop her ball with a little draw stroke, but she could just roll this in. Been pretty good on all these.
One in the corner for Krystal. Just a reminder, the entry window has now opened for next year's U.S. Amateur Championship. If you're interested in competing in this event, first step is to get signed up on our website, poolplayers.com. You'll be assigned to a preliminary round next fall in September. And the top players from those preliminary rounds advance here to Orlando next November for the 2024 U.S. Amateur Championship. So it all starts now. The process begins now.
And so does practice for that 2024.
Yeah, and start practicing.
No days off. Pool's tough like that.
Take a lesson with Jeremy Jones, man. Probably tough to get a lesson with Jeremy Jones these days. All the globe-trotting around the world you're doing.
Yeah, I've been busy lately, but try to make time for everyone, really, if they're interested in it, and have quite a few repeats, and I'm lucky like that, so. Oh, she went. I don't think she was going for the make. I think she was trying to hit that before the side, putting it down on up on the top rail, making things tough for Christy. That would have been a hard one to really take on in the side.
Christy Norris back to the table.
I think Krystal was trying to play a similar shot that Christy played right there.
Nice safety there by Christy.
Kind of tell who Krystal's fans are. They were in the same spot for her previous match, I think. Little family, maybe her mama. She can see a piece of this 5, but not a whole lot she can do with it. Ooh, she's going to give up ball in hand. No rail after contact.
Christy Norris with an opportunity to run out here and even this match at 2 games apiece.
I like her chances here, Jason. Just a little work from the 7 to the 8 to the 9. The 5 to the 6 shouldn't be much of a problem. One thing I think I've seen Christy do as much as any player in this ladies' event is not be afraid to really move the cue ball, spin the cue ball.
Unforced error. Man, Jeremy, how many of those have we seen in these matches for Krystal?
Yeah, Krystal's running good on that end of things.
Jeez.
Of course, she's cleaning them up as well.
She does.
Yeah,
She takes advantage, but it just seems like we have seen several between this match and the match prior. She has been the recipient of several unforced errors for her opponents, and now an opportunity for her to open up a 3-1 lead if she can run out this rack.
Yeah, and it's really been from a couple of opponents that are very, very capable. You know, they've shown us some previous shots, running the rack and just having one little thing slip away. It's normally been the easy ones. Same things happened with the pro players. It's more of the easy ones that get away at times.
Well, I guess turnabout is fair play there as Krystal rattles an 8-ball, and now we'll see if Christy can take advantage of her unforced error.
Yes, it looks like she has to maybe elevate the cue a little bit and hit down on this. If she rolls it, she may be going into a bad position on the 9. Kind of ball that can rattle. Oh, she hit it sweet. Good speed.
Christy Norris pockets the 9 in the corner, ties this match up at 2 games apiece. She will have the break in the next rack. We're going to take a moment to hear a quick word from our sponsors.
And this is really going to help your game tremendously and truly put you to the next skill level. Hey guys, I'm Fernando Kohler, also known as Venom. I'm a professional pool trick shot artist, but also a league operator for APA in Las Vegas. There we go. Thank you. This one is using actually 10 balls. So what exactly is a tangent? There's, in my opinion, 3 types of bridge: the closed bridge, the open bridge, and the rail bridge. We're gonna start with the closed bridge. Now, if you practice this, it's really gonna help you to go from a 2 to a 3. In this episode today, we're gonna cover how to go from a 3 to a 4. Let's get into it. The more you're gonna do it, see, as you can see, I touch sometimes a little bit of it. And 8, right? So to technically have 8 zones for 10 balls, so you have a little bit room to spare. I really hope this was useful, and I cannot wait to see you for another video. Later, everybody.
Hey, listen, I know that you don't play pool, but my league team is looking for someone tonight who's never played, so you're coming with. Great, I'll see you there. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing? Hey,
Welcome.
meet you.
Welcome back. I can't believe it. You did it. We're going to Vegas. Vegas, baby. Oh my.
Jonathan Neiman at the table, or as some have affectionately referred to him, the Mullet Man.
And he did tell me that he's going to cut it all off if he wins today.
Really?
So, oh, yeah.
And he's got it. Jonathan Neiman, Wilmington, North Carolina, your 8-ball classic champion in the red tier, folks.
How's my hair looking?
Your hair is looking good. In fact, I believe Ava and Jason were talking about it, that if you won, you were going to cut it.
I did say that. I did say that.
All right, welcome back here to Orlando for continuing coverage of the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Christy Norris has just tied this match up at 2 games apiece. She will have the break. Second game of the 9-ball set. This is a race to 5. And a dry break there for Christy.
Yeah, playing a little more controlled break than her opponent. I wouldn't call it a soft break by any means, but I think she's got more she can put it into it. Difficult 1-ball, but it is shootable. Looks like position's there, but it is a little touchy. I mean, she's trying to play the safety, I think. Maybe got a partial snooker here.
Now, we did get a score update from the other ladies' match going on. And at the time, it's been a couple minutes, but it was Stacy Bourbeau with a 3-0 lead over Jennifer Swenson.
That's right. I
Saw
think,
her
yeah.
yesterday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Loser of that match will be eliminated. Oh. And the winner will face the loser of this match for a spot in the final.
And Stacy, after taking that loss earlier to Christy, who we have here in the hot seat match, was tending to business. Miscue.
Second time we've seen her do that in this match.
Yeah, when she needs power, like a lot of us, she can get a little quick with the backswing. Most common mistake in pool, I think, and therefore you try to accelerate off something quick. You sometimes can miss hit the cue ball a little bit. Good thing is she's a shot maker, so she can make up for it right here. Looks like this 2 is playable. I think you'll cut it in cleanly here, try and just run the cue ball for some type of shape. Not sure what she'll get. Oh, this is going to turn out real nice. I'll tell you, Christy's instincts, pretty darn good. Definitely has spent some time around some top players, I would think. Of course, Carolina's just carries so many great players.
Yeah, she referenced your buddy Earl Strickland as an influence in her pool career. Reed Caswell, who's a room owner in North Carolina. Weenie Beanie, Barry Mashburn, Jason Brown. She said, I feel fortunate to have been around many great players over the years. So, it's like you said, a lot of positive influences impacting her game.
Yeah, you can tell just the way she works the cue ball and just the route she takes. Definitely have spent some time sparring, most likely with some of those greats. And just like all the states, really, you have so many names you wouldn't even know that are great players.
Right. Well, she mentions here, too, that last 4 years she's won a North Carolina State Women's 9-ball championship. So she's battle-tested.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't doubt she's got to rub elbows a little bit with Allison and Eva in those areas and getting to watch them play some and maybe playing them some as well. Big game here at 2-2, though.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy to get involved in the moment or the race to 5. You just keep putting your best effort in every shot and then see what happens. You'll have to make a, kind of a winning decision at some time or another in these tournaments and these matches. That's how sports goes. But otherwise, you just kind of try to maintain until that decision comes. Difficult here. She's got the corner. That's the obvious shot. Maybe the side's the tough cut that offers some position onto the 8. Okay, appears the 8 doesn't pass the 9. She could roll forward for a cross side bank if she wants to go offensive. Could just stop there and kind of roll the 8 by the 9, playing a safety on the next shot. Thought she was fairly straight on the 7. I didn't think she could really work the cue ball off that line, at least not much. That shows us pretty well. Yeah, it's pretty straight. Maybe has a little angle to where she can get to the long rail with the cue ball with high English, maybe. Looks like she's putting a little right as well. It's a tough bank in the side, a cross side bank. I think even tougher cut in the side. I don't know if I would take this on.
Opportunity once again for Krystal.
Yeah, she's got a little angle going away. This is where you want to kind of make a real subtle stroke, trying to pinch the cue ball. Try and hold it as much as you can for the cut on the 9.
It's the 8.
Yeah, she went ahead and let it go over a little bit, but that's okay. Again, this is the type of shot you can use the rail a little bit to pocket the 9. You don't have to hit it just dead perfect with the new felt.
Krystal pockets the 9 in the corner, takes a 3-2 lead in this race to 5. We're going to prepare for the next rack, and while we do that, hear a quick word from our sponsors. Back here in Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Brought to you by our friends at pooldog.com. Krystal Depelsmaeker here with the break. Leading 3-2. Pockets a ball in the corner, but follows it in with the cue ball. That'll bring Christy Norris back to the table, trailing by 1 game. Again, this is a race to 5. And the winner of this match will punch their ticket to the championship round later today, 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
And it seems, whether it be a scratch or untimely, poor bad position or maybe a missed ball, either one of these players can really get the rhythm going in this hot seat match. Of course, a race to 5, I don't think you're really probably supposed to try and get much rhythm. Just, try and maintain as best you can and fight for the win. It's gotten a little funny here. Does she come across for the 3-9? I don't know if she can get position on the 3 so easily. So she's going to draw the cue ball underneath the 9 or send the 3 up table, couple rails underneath the 4, 5, 6.
Little defensive shot there for Krystal.
Yeah, a little tactical battle between these two. Here in an all-important game. Christy trying to tie it at 3 apiece. Krystal trying to get to the hill. Looks like she's just going to roll this 3 by the 6. Can she hold the cue ball, though? Okay, knock the 3 into the 4. Smart shot.
Christy answers with a defensive shot of her own.
Interesting going up top. That means she's trying to make it. She could kick to the other short rail. The easier contact on the 3. Gonna get some roll on the 3, but no rail after contact.
And ball in hand to Christy Norris.
And Christy with all the work right there, you got to believe. Pretty big favorite to run these.
Another close match here on the streaming table, Jeremy. We haven't had any real blowouts. Maybe that last open division match was a little bit of a blowout, but other than that, everything's been pretty tight on this table that we've seen the last couple days. Back and forth battles.
Yeah, well, this is the cream of the crop of the 2023 ladies division here. Hot seat match, semifinal coming next, followed by the final, a race to 9.
It's getting very interesting here in Orlando. Christy Norris now shooting on the 8 ball.
Definitely has her game face on, trying to concentrate, tie this match at 3 apiece.
She does just that. 3-3 in this race to 5. She'll have the break when we return in just a moment. All right, welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Christy Norris out of North Carolina, preparing for the break, taking a look at that rack. She has just tied things up at 3 games apiece. This is a race to 5 with a spot in the championship final on the line. Nothing doing on the break.
Yeah, we'll see what Krystal has in mind. I think the bank is doable. Has to kind of stun forward to get shape on the 2. Play a safety as well. Play the 9. Wow. Always an option in 9-ball pool to play the 9.
The 9 sitting in the corner down there now.
Yeah, now what? Do you cross the 1, hitting the right side, trying to track the cue ball at the 9? Do you go for the 1-8 combo?
The 1-8 combo it is. She fires it in.
I'll tell you, you can see a 2-9 looming for whomever, or most likely whoever gets the 1 down. Come across play position for an early win. Watch out the cue ball here. Don't want to lose the cue ball off the right side of the 1. Looks like she's done real well. And she's gotten the full snooker, so big decisions now for Krystal. Does she just knock the 9 in or move it away from that corner? You know, just surrendering ball in hand, trying not to give up the quick win. Does she attack on this 1 ball somehow? She can see the 1, which I thought she was snookered, but she can see a piece of the 1. Can't knock her if she tries to get the safety, but I got to believe she's going to give up ball in hand here. Move the 9, make the 9, put it on the spot.
Yep. Pretty savvy move for 24-year-old Krystal Depelsmaeker.
She said she was born on a pool table, so playing it her entire life. And at times we even got to see enough of Krystal, it seems like, just because her opponents have really shot a lot of the balls in and then made a few mistakes towards the end. Now she's cleaned it up nicely and had some good runs, but I think there's a big skill set there we haven't got to put our eyes on a whole lot.
Again, we want to thank our friends at pooldog.com for helping us bring you all this great coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. One of the ways that you can help them is by going to their website, pooldog.com, and ordering your free 2023 catalog. It's available now, no charge. Perfect time to do it ahead of the holiday shopping season. Get some gift ideas for your favorite pool player out there. Maybe Team USA captain Jeremy Jones.
Yeah, well, you said perfect time for a nice run out here to get on the hill. Ooh, big miss on the 6th that certainly didn't expect.
And here we are again, Jeremy, where an unforced error by one of Krystal's opponents puts her in just great position to take the lead.
Didn't leave anything easy, but she's got to be happy as a lark, right, to get back to the table there. I mean, super thin cut, if cuttable at all. Maybe a bank cross side. Watch out for the cue ball. It's going to be pretty hot. Oh, nice stroke. Really nice. Nice to have them good young eyes, Jason. See the edge of them balls. All right. Does she attack on the cross corner bank? She could chip the 7 and put it underneath the 9 and run the cue ball up table. Looks like she's going to go, though. I think last I'd heard, Stacy Bourbeau was up 4-0. Match is still going on.
Still in progress over there on table 18.
Oh, what a shot.
Nice.
How's the speed on the cue ball? It's going to land on top of the 9, it seems. Oh, my. And that's how pool's so amazing. It goes, what did it go, some 12 feet around the table, lands right on top of the only ball on the table.
You think that's what Krystal's saying in her head? That's how pool's so amazing?
Well, maybe not.
She might have some different words.
Maybe not. Her opponent inquiring what type of shot. She's shooting away from it. Not a worry, but if she's trying to take it kind of head on, maybe calls the referee to watch for the cueing on the cue ball.
Pretty nice crowd now has kind of filtered in to take in the latter rounds of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. All right.
Yeah. Christy.
A little defensive shot.
Christy. Big discussion from Christy. I don't know if it's just with herself or not, but she was talking about someone to watch the shot. Well, I think you have to call the referee over if you're the player in the chair.
A lot of distance now between the cue ball and the 9 ball.
Yeah, no time for safety here, Jason. You got to pick out what you feel like the best way to attack this bank and go with your gut. Make your best stroke. Try and knock it in. I like your chances.
Oh, rattled it. Didn't go.
Well, we talk about it all the time at tournaments. As these days go on, these pockets will get more difficult.
Now a chance for Christy Norris to pull ahead, put herself on the hill, 1 rack away.
And this is where tournament can get between your ears a little bit. Just kind of looking at it. Can I make it? Can I make it? I think no problem she can make it. Oh, watch out, cue ball.
All right, so Christy Norris takes a 4-3 lead in this race to 5. Krystal will prepare the rack. We're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back to continuing coverage of the women's division of the U.S. Amateur Championship 2023 from Orlando. Matchup of undefeated players here. Christy Norris has taken a 4-3 lead over Krystal Depelsmaeker. Christy will have the break here. Asking for an adjustment to the rack, it looks like.
Yeah, our semifinal, Stacy Bourbeau's up 4-0. Now it's 4-2 that match. So
Jennifer Swenson trying to battle back. Still working on the rack here on the main table.
I'm not so sure. If you're the breaker, just a little word of advice is usually let the racker kind of finish what they're doing before you start to inspect it. If you're kind of trying to inspect it while they're trying to rack, it becomes a more difficult situation. So just easier to let them finish what they're doing and then you take a look. Nothing wrong with that.
Floor manager Brad Jones intercedes, and we're back on track here. Important break for Christy as she tries to put this match away, punch her ticket to the final. And another dry break.
We'll see what.
Didn't do any favors for Krystal here.
No, she's got to just move the one down table. Just don't put it near the 9. You don't want an early winner. I don't know how much cue ball movement she'll get with all that traffic. She got a lot out of it, actually.
Got both the 1 and the 8 there.
And a decent shot on the 2. One she should attack with.
Two in the upper corner.
And this is now setting up for a run, really, after that first shot on the one. Kind of took care of a few problems, got our shot on the two. All she really needs to do is come over and get straight on the 4. That'll offer an angle on the 5 to get over for the 6, and the rest is kind of history. Oh, my.
Oh, and just not only does she rattle the 3 in the corner, scratches in the side. Ball in hand for Krystal. Once again, the recipient of an unforced error, and great opportunity now. Had to be wondering if she was going to get back to the table at all. And
I didn't think she was. After she knocked that 2 in and drew shape on the 3, I thought next time we'd be seeing Krystal would be the semifinal. But now way back in it. Looks a little odd on this 4 on the side. Don't try to cheat it and miss this ball. Take what you can. Okay, needs to move the cue ball across for the 6. The 7-9, no problem.
oh, rattles the 5 in the corner. But what do you think there, Jeremy?
Yeah, 2-rail escape, that's pretty easy. And again, her going right to that 2-rail escape. That tells me, again, she spent some time with some top players, maybe some pros. Because this is the escape that not only you might fluke the 5 in the side, but you can hold the cue ball underneath the 6 or the 9. Oh, she caught the top side of it, so Krystal's going to get another chance. And a pretty good one. Got to draw the cue ball a bit.
If you're just joining us and you're watching coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship, this is the women's division. Krystal Depelsmaeker at the table, trailing 4-3. Trying to run out this rack and even things up. Both ladies in this match undefeated thus far in the tournament. This is the hot seat match. Winner will advance to the championship round.
How's Hill for the hot seat? That's what we're staring here, right in the face. She could just roll this in, play the short side of the 9. She could come across. Whatever young 24-year-old Krystal is feeling. Probably feeling a lot at the moment, to be fair.
We did just get a quick update. Stacy Bourbeau still in the thick of things.
Yes.
She's just taken her match and we'll move on to the semifinal.
So don't forget about me.
So the road to this year's title will, one way or another, have to go through Stacy. All right, we are tied up at 4 games apiece. Christy with a show of sportsmanship there. Her and Krystal, a quick handshake and a hill race. And while we take a quick break, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. All right, folks, buckle up. We got a hill nail biter for you.
Yeah, our hot seat match, Hill, not just any match. This is to get to the final of the 2023 women's division of the U.S. Amateurs.
Krystal Depelsmaeker in control at the moment with the break.
See a little movement on the 9, maybe, Jason?
There's movement, but it's not movement in the right direction, and there's nothing made on the break once again. Christy back to the table.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the push out really utilized as much as I thought I would see here this week. And nothing wrong with taking on one you feel like you can hit and do something with, but the push out's there for situations like this, hill, and maybe don't have to roll the dice so much. She's going to love this. Going to end up behind the 6. So that's the other thing about rolling the dice, Jason. Sometimes it goes your way.
Foul there by Krystal. No contact with the 1. Ball in hand for Christy.
Okay, here.
Looking up the 9, isn't she?
Yeah, she's going for the triple combination maybe here on the 179.
What a way to punch your ticket to the championship.
Got a few ways to do it. Could go in cleanly with this triple combination. Could graze the 2 going by. I'm trying to think if there's anything else good that may happen, because she won't slow roll this, or she shouldn't. Three ball? No, I think she did get a snooker somehow with all those balls moving around. The 9 actually never moved. Don't know how that happened either. Really nice there, Krystal. Just going to look at the jump shot, but kind of believe the kick shot's the play here. Of course, I don't know. Christy probably better than me with the jump cue. She's going to go digging for it.
Well, we've got a moment. Again, I want to thank our friends at PoolDog.com for all their support and helping us bring you this great coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. We'd ask you do us a favor, go to their website, PoolDog.com, and order their 2023 catalog ahead of the holiday shopping season. Christy with a little self-talk out there, it looks like.
Yeah, she's pretty much had that the entire match. Here and there.
Saying, you got this, you got this. And she does have it, Jeremy. Look at that shot.
Wow, what a shot. Pumped herself up and then knocked it right on in. Looked like the jump cue was the correct play.
Wow. Big shot there by Christy Norris.
Yeah, it looks like she's got to show off the draw stroke a bit. The 3 does play in the side. It's not easy, but does go.
I was going to ask you, how hard is that after you make a shot like that, but you still have so many balls on the table to kind of reset yourself and bear back down?
Yeah,
Got the adrenaline kind of over-stimulating you.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday that, when you make a poor shot, a lot of times you're leaving the table and you got time to go back and think it over, right? And you're not happy about it, but you have time. But you got to leave the good ones behind as well and get on with it. And maybe what she did, a little celebration. She was happy. Why not let it out a little bit and be done with it? Try and get this run out. Now, she fell a little steep here. She's going to be stretched. She can add a lot of left spin and creep the cue ball down the rail with the 4 or come across. Sometimes easy to end up short when you're stretched. She's overcut it. Didn't expect to see that.
Loser of this match will turn around and be right back in action against the defending champ, Stacy Bourbeau. Big shot there.
Yeah, real nice. And now on the fence, does she take on the cut? That's doable. The bank is doable. Takes on the bank. You never know. She may hit a little wide towards the 9. It's going to end up close to the cue ball.
Well, this hot seat match is not disappointed. Hill, down to the final rack, back and forth.
Yeah, been some incredible shots as well. Still feel like there's going to be one more incredible one by one of these ladies to finish. Okay, she's got a natural angle. Cue ball movement, not a problem. Watch out for the corner she's standing over right now. That one scares me a little. She's skewing a little downward, though, so she should pull short of that. She's overcut it. So I'd say nerves getting to Christy a little bit. But, that's fair. I'm nervous every time I play, I think, Jason. So couldn't imagine being in the final of such a big event.
You can't imagine
Well,
being in the final? Okay.
It's been a while. I'm saying
wait
it's
a
been a
minute,
while,
wait.
So. Oh, sweet
Nice.
stroke there.
Watch out.
It's going to be okay. How's the speed? The speed's pretty good.
Can Krystal Depelsmaeker finish this off?
Yeah.
3 balls remain.
Yeah, she needs to dig on the cue ball a little bit here. She needs to draw back, maybe in position where she's at now at least. Can't have too much speed on this. Oh, real nice.
Drops the 7.
Real nice.
Gotta love her composure. 24 years old.
And she's had to deal with it a little bit more in this match than the past. Watch outside pocket.
Oh
my. Wow. Christy
Nail
is,
biter. 9 ball remains.
That's why them points are made that way. You can get close, but don't always scratch.
Wow. Folks, Krystal Depelsmaeker has punched her ticket to the championship match. Congratulations to Krystal. We'll look forward to seeing her at 4:30 p.m. Eastern today. But in the meantime, Jeremy, we've got a semifinal match. Defending champion Stacy Bourbeau, Christy Norris. They've already met once today, Christy getting the better of her. So, we'll have to see how things shake out in the semifinal.
Yeah, well, just like any other sport, hard to beat somebody twice in a season, now twice in a tournament. So Stacy's got something in mind, so does Christy. It'll be a fun one.
Absolutely, folks. You're not going to want to miss it. Just come back here in a few minutes, and we will have continuing coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship from Orlando. Thanks.